I'm actually really happy to let people go if they're not the right people for the team. When I started Boost Juice Bars, I pretty much never had run a team, really. I maybe had one assistant, that was about kind of it. My husband was this high-powered role in radio who had probably reports under him, probably really strong, 12 reports plus hundreds of people under them. And he was like, you got to know to go. He had very much, bit more of a, I'm a leader and I'm the boss and you do what I say and say what I do. And I said to him at the time, I said, my leadership is different to that. Because I was probably, that nice, da-da-da. But so I led with being with the team. I felt people worked with me, not for me. I led with people being accountable. So if we go back to that other session we talked about with how you structure meetings and making people accountable. If I sit in front of you and you say to me, Matt, I'll say, look, we have a need for the Business Academy to create a new module on marketing, right? And you say, yep, I'm going to do that and I'll have it done by Friday. Now Friday comes and I've lined everything up. Friday comes and you haven't done it. Then so I won't yell and scream. I'll just go, right, okay, right, why wasn't it done? And we get down to why it wasn't done. So I say to people who work for me is this, right? I will send you a task or I will send you something to do, right? And I'll send you a date to do at that time. Now, if that date doesn't work, let me know. We'll have a discussion about it and we'll move the date. But if you don't talk to me and that date's not achieved, then I will start losing respect for you. And I will actually, in a way that is my way, say, well, maybe you're not ready for this team. Because you know what, shit happens all the time, right? Things blow out. That's no one's fault. But communicate with me. So I worked on collaboration and respect, and the people who are on my team had that equal type of view. When I started Boost, it was literally us 4 girls, right? I was 32 and my 3 lieutenants was well into their 20s, right? So we're all quite young. But I tell you what, even though I ultimately made the call, right, because someone does and it was my money, and quite often people who are, as this person has asked a question, is nice, the worst you can do is go, if they're not doing it, then you pick it up and do it, which I did that once. I'll give you an example of what I did. I hired this guy who was a financial controller, right? And the business was going like a rocket and my accounts was not in the way that I wanted them to be. And I said to him, look, I need a budget. We're coming up to June 30. I need a budget. Well, actually it was about May. So you should be doing your budgeting about April, May. I said, I need a budget, right? And he said, I'm too busy. I haven't got time. I said, but this is a critical document for the business because we need to look at it. In the end, I cracked the shit so much that I didn't really know Excel very much, but I self-taught myself in Excel and I actually created a budget. It was like a 54-page document that I learned and did. And I stayed up probably for a week till 2 o'clock in the morning to do it. And which is not what I'm suggesting you do as a leader. I suggest you get a new financial controller in that environment. But interesting, what I learned more about my business in that week than I ever had before because I knew every line, every dollar, everything. But I also learned another lesson, and that was that I need a team around me that is dynamite. So even though I don't believe I lead with an iron fist, in actual fact, I think I lead with a soft dove, I don't put up with people who don't do what they say. So I'm actually really happy to let people go if they're not the right people for the team. Because like we said before, you owe it to the people in that team to only have people that are amazing. So so I think again, a long-winded way of answering this question is that be yourself, but equally create a system around you to find out very quickly what people are like. And at some point, it's actually okay to let people go, right? Don't see that is part of business. The other thing is do not be, and people can disagree with this or not, but don't be their friend, right? You can be friend-like and you can be friendly, right? But there will be a time where you have to make a hard call, right? And it is very difficult if you've had them over to your house, you've met their kids, you've met their family, and that's okay too, but you still need to have the level of, ultimately it's my business or ultimately I'm the boss. To this day, those 4 women I spoke to you about, right? I love them, and that we are now friends. But even though when they worked with me, they all knew that I was ultimately accountable for the final decision. Yeah. And the other thing is, never get pissed with them, ever. You know, always have that level of professionalism, in my view, because I think that's where things go pear-shaped.
Yeah, one last thing on that. I think there was a big trend. I think it's been a bit of a trend. Is the name of authenticity gets thrown around a lot for an excuse to just be moody or just be yourself. I'm authentic and I'm angry, so I'm going to be angry at you because I'm authentic, right? That goes against professionalism, because you want to rock up and deliver a promise to people, you know, and we have to learn to manage our lives the best we can so we can separate this. So my customers don't deserve to deal with my crap, you know, because I feel it's authentic for me to be able to be angry at them because it's what happened at home.
I'm being real.
Yeah, this is how I am, accepted. You're discriminating against my feelings. Like, no, we've got to have professionalism. If you don't have that professionalism, you've got moodiness in your team.
Or treat people how you want to be treated too.
Yeah.
Right. And also, I also believe that people treat you how you allow them to treat you.
So true.
So you own it. So if you're going da-da-da, like, excuse me, no. So for example, as a boss, if I'm allowing people to not deliver on what they promise, then I'm not actually letting people treat me how I want to be treated.
Yeah.
And vice versa, I hope to never treat them unfairly as well.
Yeah.